don't know how many times I've tried this. I hope that people can see this, and I hope they will join me. I've tried this several times, and I still can't see the live stream on my channel. I'm really concerned about this. I am trying to go live, but yeah, I've got the internet and I've got everything else. Ah, yes, it says I'm live, so I am now live. Thank goodness. Third or fourth time lucky, it seems. Hello, yes. Athol ASMR here, Matt. I will just nip onto Twitter and say that I have had result after several false starts. I am actually now live. So I will just plug my phone in so we don't run out of battery. But yeah, so, you know, feeling very perky after this morning. I had my COVID vaccine yesterday, my first jab, and I feel like I've been punched in the arm, to be honest with you, to be very honest with you. You know, I feel like this arm's going to drop off. Very achy, stings at times, but I'm glad I did it. I am absolutely glad I had the jab. Let me move back a bit so you can see me. That's better. I'm a bit too close to the camera. In my last live stream there was some static, but that was because I actually had a fan going off in the background. So yeah, it was a bit awkward. I haven't got the fan on this time. I've got some windows open, so you know the room stays rather. There's the cat. Because I'm using my phone, I can never quite remember where the camera is. You know, because normally, as I've said in previous live streams, I tend to use my laptop, and you know, I'm usually used to using that instead, but you know, I've discovered this Prism Live thing, which obviously makes much better quality video on my phone. So yeah, welcome to my hobby room. You can finally see everything that is usually very grainy little pixels. Hello, Mills ASMR. Thank you for joining me. Thank you very much for joining me. Very much appreciated. Yeah, so this is my geek room, as it were. Behind the camera, there's shelves full of Doctor Who figurines and Lego minifigures. Behind me are all my comic books, my Lego books. We've got my Doctor Who DVDs there. As I say, I apologise if I don't keep looking at the camera, because you know your eyes are automatically drawn to the screen and not the camera. Eventually, I do plan to start using my digital SLR to create videos. I've had it for so many years now that I've never really worked out. I'm still learning how to use it, and I've had it since, I want to say about 2000. I've had it about 10 years, I think. Maybe not. No, yeah, maybe about 10 years. I still haven't. It's a Canon 600D. It's quite an old one now. But yeah, you know, I'm working. Don't mind the background. That's my parents. I do still live at home. Long story. Can't basically afford to move out. So yeah, there will be background noise. This isn't strictly ASMR. This one. The live streams tend not to be, because they're just me talking to you, really. Um, so yeah, um, you know, bits of updates. I normally try and do a live stream on a Saturday evening, but I've decided to try and do them on a Friday night because I've got plans to see a mate tomorrow evening, and then next week I'm off to the Isle of Wight for the day with my best mate again, for a steam railway gala. We're off to see the A1X Terriers at the Isle of Wight steam railway, so that will be quite entertaining. I might try and do a live stream from there on Instagram. I will take a battery pack with me as well, so I can charge my phone when I need to. It's going to be a very early start. We haven't actually worked out the logistics yet of what time we're actually going to have to leave. So that I won't know till at least next, probably Wednesday or Thursday. But anyway, so this weekend is a 3-day weekend. We have what's known as a bank holiday, for those of you not in the UK. Basically, it's where the banks used to shut, and it sort of became a day off for everyone who isn't really an essential work. So, you know, unfortunately for me, currently being unemployed, it's a bit of a awkward one. Excuse me. Bit of antibacterial hand gel. Keep the germs at bay. You know, obviously because I'm not working at the moment, still looking for employment. Been a bit of a struggle, but now the lockdowns are being lifted and the restrictions are being lifted, I do feel like it's going to improve, and I will. It's not a matter of if, it's a matter of when. And the prospects of finding employment, I feel, are so much better. I have finally been able to apply for jobs because they're now appearing. They are now appearing. So, obviously my channel's kept me busy throughout all this time since the first lockdown, when I was put on furlough leave back in April last year. Made redundant in August, did some temporary work in October, November. But of course, I started my channel in June last year, June 24th. In fact, next month is my June 24th. Next month is my 1-year channel anniversary. So I hope to do a 1-year celebration live stream for that. Obviously, a month after that, on the 11th of July, which is a Sunday, I might do a birthday live stream because the 11th of July is my birthday. You know, there were some goals I wanted to get to, hopefully to make it a huge celebration, but, you know, I have to be real, really. I know it's going to take me a long time to reach the milestones that I'm really hoping to reach. You know, I'm prepared to put in all the work. I mean, you know, my project, which I talk a lot about on Twitter, Instagram, and in these live streams, really has kept me going in the last year. It really has kept me focused on something. You know, it's given me something to do. It's given me a way of keeping my brain ticking over with ideas. You know, creating characters, writing storylines, things like that. So, yeah, you know, this last year has been a bit of a roller coaster. I mean, obviously my health took a dive with gallstones. I'm still waiting to have confirmation of surgery to have my gallbladder removed. They now think my body is creating too many blood cells because of sleep apnea. So I'm waiting to... I've been referred to a respiratory clinic. So hopefully, you know, they'll be able to work out whether or not it's sleep apnea or something else, sinus trouble, something like that, to do with respiration. So, touch wood, that can all be dealt with sooner rather than later. But all in all, I've had blood tests and things like that, and they've all come back negative, which is, for the more serious ailments and diseases. So, being given the all clear in that sense is a big relief, a huge relief. Started to work with some other content creators as part of a fitness collab being led by Mike Talks ASMR. I'm involved in that I'm doing exercise, eating differently. Started that at the beginning of this week. Haven't done any exercise today because I've not really felt right today, obviously, because I had the COVID vaccine yesterday. Felt a bit drained, a bit de-energised today. As I say, my arm is still very uncomfortable, but we've had some, I've had some good news this week regarding my project and my channel. Got a couple more people on board for the summertime project, the Academy. If you're on Twitter, there is information about it on my feed, Lord of War and Heartache and the Academy. There's 2 roles left to be filled. You can always contact me via the email address in my About tab on my channel. I can give, so you can contact me that way. You can DM me on Instagram. You can direct message me on Twitter as well. Plenty of ways to contact me if you're interested in if you're ever interested in participating in my project. Always looking for people to be part of it. And I will always work with you. Freedom of choice, blah blah blah, that sort of thing. Basically everything you really need to know is on my Twitter. I talk about it a lot. I'm very passionate about it. Very, very passionate. So I will say this isn't going to be a very long live stream, because it's I will be jumping off. I'll try and take it to about 10 o'clock, but there is something else I'm jumping on to for about 10 o'clock, so we'll see how we go. Please do interact. Please, leave comments, leave questions, anything like that. And I'm happy to talk to you about it and anything. I am also looking at doing some behind the scenes videos as well. How I do the voices and all that. I've got Streamlabs, so I can actually record the screen through it, which is a big help. So I can sort of show you the software I use, things like that, and sort of do things that way. So this is not just sort of about me. It's about you as well. Do interact. Do ask questions. Do keep it. I have house rules which I normally do at the very beginning of my live streams. Keep it clean. Keep it civil. Keep it friendly. Keep it kind. There are many things I won't tolerate in this world, and as long as you're civil, friendly, kind, honest, that sort of thing, you're more than welcome to stay. I'm working on some new material at the moment for the Academy. We've got how many characters have we got now? I think we've got about. It's going to be spread over 8 chapters. Chapters 1 and 8 will bookend the entire series, and all the other participants will appear in the 6 chapters in between chapter 1 and chapter 8. So chapter 1 and chapter 8 will be what I call solo chapters, which is just me performing, and then the rest will appear in the other chapters in between. It might go on a bit longer, it might go on to chapter 10, depends on how I want to split the characters. 8 is the minimum I want to do for this mini-series. I call it a mini-series. It's a spin-off to The Lord of War and Heartache. Very proud of it. Very proud of it. Really happy to have all the people that I've got involved. So, you know, really excited as well. You know, some brilliant content creators involved. And I mean, we've got some amazing content creators for chapter 15 to at least chapter 19. Well, chapters 15 to 21, and I'm still looking for people to be involved in the Dream Realm. I have had to push back deadlines. Chapters 15 and 16 will now be end of mid to. There's been technical issues and you know contribution issues. No one's fault. Absolutely no one's fault. You know, life finds a way. Life finds a way. So basically, I've had to shuffle around all the deadlines and extend them or move them to be much more, because obviously I still need people and I still haven't got enough people on board for some chapters. You know, there's some that have enough people that I can sort of work without a few of the characters, so that's not too much of an issue, or I can always move them into other chapters. However, there are some where the characters are integral to the chapters and I do need to get them filled. Obviously a lot of the male characters I can actually voice myself. However, there's a lot of characters that can either be played by male or female, or there are female characters. So, you know, if you listen to my voice, I can't really do a female voice. I haven't got the range to do. My character voices are usually deep and booming, or, you know, very authoritative in their tone. Whereas, you know, I can't do. I can try and do impersonations of some characters, but I can't. I can't do specific voices, you know, unless they're characters I have always known how I want them to sound. It has to be very specific to my voice level. So yeah, you know, if you know anyone who might be interested in participating, please point them in my direction. Look on, as I said before, look on the About tab in my channel, because that has my email address for collaboration work. Whilst you know, you can contact me on Twitter or Instagram, anything like that. You know, I love to hear from people anyway. You know, I always love it when people message me, because it you know, lets me know what people think. Oh, hi Dappist. Yeah, thank you for joining me. I was saying earlier, I feel like I've been punched in the arm over and over again. I had my, as you no doubt know from my social media, I had my first COVID vaccination yesterday, and I woke up feeling very low, not nauseous or a headache or anything like that, but you know, I woke up in not the best of moods, and as I say, I feel like my arm's going to fall off today. Sometimes it stings, sometimes it aches, but it definitely feels like someone's repeatedly punched me in the arm. It's very uncomfortable today. But you know, I can still use it. This was the arm that I had it done in my right arm, you know, because I'm left-handed. So I had the opposite arm done. Yeah, I haven't had the full flu. I know a couple of people who had the full symptoms of flu from it. But both my parents have had both their jabs, and they said that their arm ached afterwards. So, oh, thank you, Catherine. I appreciate it. It isn't nice. I mean, you know, I used to get punched in the arm a lot at school, so you know, I sometimes think I should be used to it, but you know, I've had lots of blood drawn in the last couple of months, and I'm still not used to getting needles stuck into my arm. You know, it's something you never can get used to. It is truly. Sorry, my chair. I will apologise because my chair always is really noisy. I really need to get some WD-40 on this chair. You know, try and make it a bit more less squeaky and clicky. But yeah, you know, so all in all, I'm actually much perkier than I was this morning. Still in discomfort, but you know, I've got through the day all right. But yeah, so you know, giving an update on Lord of War and Heartache, you know, and the Academy. Really pleased how that's coming out. I know, Dappist, that you're keen to return as the peddler in the upcoming. I'm still waiting for one more contribution for chapter 13. That has been delayed. Hence why I released the Lord Volkov filler chapter this week, so that you know there's a you know, the way is paved for chapter 13. He does make a mistake, and that is purposeful. He does say that the village is to the northwest in it, and I will point that out, when it is really to the northeast. Well, talk about anything really, you know. I've been sort of I've been updating people on my project and things like that, and you know, how I'm looking for people to be involved. You know, still got 2 characters for the Academy to fill. Really happy with the way that's going. Got some amazing people on board. You know, really happy with it all. But you know, so it's everything is, you know, everything's going well actually. And I've had some very good and constructive feedback today regarding my channel. Oh, thank you, Catherine. Yeah, I am writing them. I have been writing some today, and I will be writing some tomorrow, because it's a 3-day weekend. So, you know, not that really affects me, because obviously I don't work. So, every day feels like a weekend for me at the moment, unfortunately. But I will find a job soon. It's not a matter of if, it's a matter of when. And there are jobs out there now. Things are picking up again now that they're lifting the restrictions here in the UK. So, you know, things are beginning to move along. Really, it's all looking pretty hopeful for the project. I'm hoping, with a bit of luck, I will fill the 2 remaining roles for the academy very soon. I'm quite excited about that concept, the whole thing of the academy, because it's going to be set before the main story, so it's going to be set sort of like a few years before the main storyline. So it's going to act like a prequel, but it's going to talk about. There's going to be elements of the whole background to the story, because a lot of the scripts aren't actually going to be scripted. I'm actually giving people free rein to develop their own dialogue. What I will do is I will list the key phrases they need to include in their dialogue. So they're free to say, people will be free to say whatever they want, but they need to include at least 1 or 2 of the key keynotes that I will provide them with. I think this one's going to be a bit more interesting because it will be a more free rein project. As I say, it's plot points. Thank you very much. Thank you. Yes. So I will ask people to include plot points, but they will be absolutely free to create their own dialogue, which I think will pave the way for some really, really good creativity, some really imaginative creativity. There's a couple of people I know who will prefer to have scripts, and I'm happy to write them. But I think a lot of the people that are on board like the concept of having their originality allowed to flourish. I think that's going to really work. Yeah, well, thank you for joining me, Brian. As I said, there will be plot points, but you will be free to, like with Jodie's Too Cool for School collaboration, you'll have freedom to do what you want, just as long as the plot points are included, say at least once along the way. So you don't need to repeatedly talk about them, which will give you free rein to sort of play around with your character, play around with what you want to create from your character. So in your case, being a musician, it gives you free rein to talk about, for example, how music is for you, what you Sorry, I'm just reading your. I want to get my medieval world more built out, but I also have a mini series of random nonsenses happening in the summer. I'd love to do. Yeah. Do that. Take your time. Build upon it. That's how I've done it. I've started from ideas and developed it through. Through the concepts that I've seen, I've taken inspiration from many places. Lord of the Rings, Elder Scrolls, Warhammer Fantasy back there, Dungeons and Dragons, which I've also got rule books for. Well, we're not covering English and Maths. Its actual title is the Academy of Entertainers. So if you go on, we've got the jesters, we've got the musicians, we've got the bards, we've got the singers, and then there's the dancers. Is that it? I think there's 5. I think there's only 5. I think there is only 5 because there's 5 leaders. The leader of music, the leader of singing, the leader of music played by Jess K Creative, the leader of singing played by Black Cat Aura, the leader of bards played by me, the leader of dance who has been played by Urmila Dolce ASMR, although she won't be appearing in the Academy. I'm hoping that Exploring ASMR will return in her role from chapter 13. We have kind of discussed it, and I think we've sort of negotiate is the word I'd use. And who's the final one? Oh yeah, and ASMR Whisper UK is the leader of the jesters. So it's all falling into place. Yeah, that's the thing. That's why I sort of give free rein over. I only suggest the style. I don't actually design the costumes or anything. That I leave entirely to the participants. It gives much more creative freedom, and I think as I write the stuff. I don't need to. It's a collaborative effort. I write the stuff and I put it all together, but the real magic is done by the people who participate. They're the ones that bring the characters to life. That whether they do it as just a voice or they actually do a video. It really makes the difference that it's not just me doing it all on my own, because I think in the end it would get boring for a lot of people just hearing me do the same sort of voices all the time. I mean, as I say, I do the voice of Rafik, Volkov, Arik the Bard, Geoffrey of Trigon, Garen, the Overseer of Trigon, and Trajan. Who else do I voice? The Governor and the Governor's PA, which, as we discovered in chapter 12, I can understand that. I have the same problem with the female characters, because obviously I can't do a female voice anyway. That's why I have turned to the community to help me, because I know there's a lot of people out there who love character-driven ASMR roleplay, and I think that's why it has been as popular as it has been for collaboration work, because it's given people chance to really go to town with what they create for the characters they pick, because I never actually allocate any characters. I am always for people to choose their characters. I am all about freedom of choice, freedom of creative development. Once you get the script, well, as you know, Dappist, once you get the script, you have 100% freedom of control over your character. Everything you do with it. Heck, you even get to keep it for your own videos on your own channel. That's how I like to work. It's or adapt it for your own channel. That's the beauty of it. So I'm always, working on And as I say, these books behind me, these books here, have been my biggest influence. You know, I've got my Player's Handbook, Dungeon Master's Guide, and the second Dungeon. Well, these aren't the latest editions. They're all old editions. I think they're third edition, which means I can't actually play the game, but they're fantastic for inspiration. And as I say, the Warhammer rulebook, this one, is an older edition as well. But again, it really gives me inspiration for the project. So I'm always turning to you know, my rule books and things like that, you know. And down there I've got the complete Lord of the Rings. Yeah, so you know, I've got plenty of source material to get my ideas from, but everything really is. Oh, is that so? 3 for home campaigns and Pathfinder, eh? That's interesting. I might have to try and find some people who do version 3 for that then. That's very interesting. I'll keep an eye on that. Thank you for that. But anyway, you know, so it's, you know, my bookshelves are a huge source of inspiration for me. The one right behind me, this one right here in the middle, are all my comic books. So they don't really. I've got my DC comic books on the top, Marvel sort of on the second shelf down, and all my other comic books and things, including. Oh, I can't move this. I think there's a cable in the way. But if I move this side, these comic books here are my Asterix books. I'm a huge fan of Asterix the Gaul. And then, of course, there I've got Dragon Ball. You can't see them, but I've also got all the Scott Pilgrim comic books as well. So, yeah, you know, I am a geek. I admit it. I'm just going to put a light on quick. Let me just stick a light on. It's getting a bit dark. There we go. That's better. You can see me now, and I can. Yes, there is a cable in the way, which is why I can't move my chair. So I will just move that a bit more out the way, and then. That's better. You can see me now. That makes sense. Yeah, they are. Hello. Thank you for joining me, Shiger. I don't want to pronounce your name wrong, but good evening. Thank you for joining me. Really greatly appreciated. Yeah. I've got quite a collection of different books and things. You know, I to be honest, I don't really do a lot of reading. I spend a lot more time on my computer with my project. I also try and do model making if I can. Which I haven't really done a lot of lately. I mean, the weather hasn't been good for getting an airbrush out, so now it's starting to get warmer and I can have the windows open, which I've got at the moment. I normally have a fan going, but as someone pointed out to me recently, from a manga. From a manga anime that Fruits Basket. I'm not familiar with that one, but I'm. When it comes to anime, I'll be honest, I'm a Dragon Ball Z Mobile Suit Gundam Wing person myself. You know, in all honesty, that's I have watched Titan AE. Titan AE? No, 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 no. I beg your pardon. That's an animated film from the early 2000s. I mean Attack on Titan. I have watched Attack on Titan. But that's about it really for the more recent anime and things like that. As I say, I'm a Dragon Ball Z, very much the Cell Saga, very much the Cell Saga. So yeah, but you know, I am into. I don't speak Japanese. Oh, okay, right, okay, that's yeah. If you enjoyed it, that's absolutely fine. You know, I'm not going to knock. I'm not going to knock anything that someone enjoys. You know, yeah. Yeah. So, but you know, I don't speak a word. The thing is, I don't speak a word of Japanese, and yet I love Japanese. You know, I love Japanese culture. I love. Japanese music. I have a whole playlist of Japanese song. Well, they're actually theme songs, because I've got all the theme songs of the Super Sentai and Kamen Rider series, right the way from, well, for Super Sentai, it's right the way from Himitsu Sentai Go Ranger up to Kira Major. I haven't got the recent theme song for the most recent season. Go Kaiser. Yeah, Kira Major is the most recent. But I am absolutely in love with Resha Sentai Tokuja, which is because I love Railways, and it's Railway-based Super Sentai, and I really, really believe it should be adapted into Power Rangers. I think it would be an amazing Power Ranger, because I'm a big Power Ranger fan. That's how I got into Super Sentai, because I'm a first generation Power Ranger fan. You know, Day of the Dumpster. I remember Day of the Dumpster, the very first episode when it was first broadcast back in 1993, and you know it became a. I think I kind of stopped watching around the time of Power Rangers Turbo. I just about remember Power Rangers in Space, which is based on Denji Sentai Mega Ranger, or Electric Squadron Mega Ranger, to give it its translated title. See, I have learnt the I have gone through some of the sort of fan wikis and things and learnt some of the translations and things of the seasons, and you know, I just became fascinated with that sort of thing. Really, I discovered it really by accident. I started watching Power Rangers Super Mega Force, and I saw all these suits that didn't exist, and then there were some suits that suddenly made sense from Die Ranger, which was the season after Zoo Ranger, which was what was adapted into Mighty Morphin. And I discovered Gokaiger, which was the actual source material for. Yeah. Huge shortage of. You know, it actually took me 20 years to get a Dragon Dagger of the Green Ranger's Dragon Dagger. I actually bought it at the London MCM Comic Con in 2017. Or was it 2018? No, it was 2017 I bought it. I bought it from the Bandai stand. Because I'd always, ever since I was a kid, I always wanted my very own Dragon Dagger prop, and I never ever got one as a kid. And you know, it when I saw they were doing a special collector's edition, I knew I had to have it. So I went ahead and purchased it. I've also got the Red Ranger Morpher from the 1995 movie as well, because I'd always wanted a Morpher as well. They didn't have the White Ranger one from the movie, and they didn't have the Green Ranger one in stock either, which was the one I really wanted. Because I love dragons, anything involving dragons, I'm sold. So Dragonzord, although Dragonzord is actually based on Godzilla, which is obvious when you look at it, but because even its roar is Godzilla's roar, that's the thing. So yeah, lifelong Power Rangers fan. Yeah, I had that as well. Yeah, I mean, growing up in the 90s was one of the, I'm a 1984 birth, so I most of my childhood spans the very late 80s to about 1995. I mean, I was 11 in 1995. I started secondary school in 95. Left in 2000, but that's that's a story I won't cover. My 5 years, but yeah, quite a happy memories of childhood, playing Power Rangers on the playground, always being the Green Ranger, always being, I was always the Green Ranger, and always Dragonzord as well, when the monster was made to grow big, and I became, but then obviously when the change had to... Ronan, hello, thank you for joining. Thank you. I was just talking about the heady, halcyon days of childhood and my youth, and Power Rangers, the happy days of... my happy misspent days of youth. Not that I really misspent them, to be honest with you. I didn't have much to misspend. Looking at myself in the camera, I kind of wish I did put a brush through my hair, but I obviously didn't do a very good job. I have it's short, but it's very flyaway, my hair, which, I try and keep it a sensible haircut. Yeah, so, just to bring you up to speed, Ronan, been chatting about the project, been chatting about, life in general, how my arm feels like it's been punched repeatedly since I had my vaccine yesterday. Very glad I did, though. I don't regret it. Don't regret having the vaccine. I've got to wait till August now for the second jab. That I've only had the first one now, so I'm only sort of half protected. So, a bit of protection. Yeah, good old age syndrome. Oh, yeah, it's funny because I sometimes go into museums now. I mean, it's like visiting the Science Museum in London, and they have all the household objects in there from when and I actually said to my cousin who was born in the 90s, I grew up in the 90s. I turned around to him and said, "Oh my God, I actually remember having that piece of technology." I mean, they had things in there. They have things in there like the Philips CDI. I had a Philips CDI. Okay, Sudmar. Oh, wonderful. Thank you for joining me. Yes. Wonderful. Thank you. Excellent. But yeah, I mean, nostalgia is... Yeah, I mean, for me, it's like the 90s was just yesterday. You know, I have some really good memories of the 90s. For me, it was the best decade. You know, that I think I think the youth today miss out so much on what we had growing up. They take so much. They take everything they have now for granted. I feel compared to, you know, what what I had when growing up in the 90s. You know, I didn't have a lot of this. You know, I didn't have a mobile phone until the year 2000 for college. You know, I didn't have a mobile, and it was one of the old. It was an Alcatel, and it was the only game on it was Tetris. It was a screen about that big. You know, it was. You know, it wasn't, and it was a push button phone, completely push button, and the battery was you could remove the battery. You could actually remove the battery. Yeah, yeah, they were. I mean, I'm rather old fashioned, I have to say. I mean, I think a lot of my music tastes come from having played Fallout, really, because of what they have on the radio. On the radio in the game. So I became very much into the music of the Ink Spots and, the Rat Pack, especially from Fallout New Vegas. So my musical tastes range anywhere from, shall we say, the 1920s up to perhaps about 2010, I guess. Obviously, if we're talking rock and metal, it's anything up to today, really, because I love metal, and a lot of the metal groups of today are fantastic. I mean, I listen to a lot of established metal groups. I mean, I listen to Nightwish. I love all three eras of Nightwish: Tarja Turunen, Annette Olsen, and of course Floor Jansen. I love the music of Epica, Delane, for power metal, Dragon Force, for death metal, Arch Enemy and The Agonist for that sort of thing, as well as Unleash the Archers and things like that. Yeah, I've never played Borderlands. That's the thing. I've never played Borderlands. Yeah, I mean, Fallout, I actually played from the very first game that was released by Black Isle and Interplay back in 1997. I actually remember the very first game being released. Then obviously I had Fallout 2. And then obviously when I got my PlayStation 3, I got Fallout 3. And then obviously when I got Fallout 4 on the PS4. And although I do have it, I lost interest in Fallout 76. I have it, but I kind of regret buying it, if you know what I mean. I kind of, because I had no one to play with anyway. I didn't know anyone else who played it at the time, and my character's so low leveled at the moment. It's pointless me even picking it up again, which is sad, really. But Fallout New Vegas will always be my favourite. Will always be my favourite because it feels very much to the atmosphere of the original first two games by Black Isle and Interplay, mainly because Obsidian, that made it, consisted of employees of Black Isle. So it actually used concepts from the cancelled Fallout 3, which was codenamed Van Buren. Yeah, yeah, yeah. That's the thing. You know, a lot of the younger people in born in 2000 are now drinking age in America. I mean, in Britain it's 18. So 2018 was when a lot of the people in born in 2000 could start drinking. I mean, for me, it was 2002. So you know, not that I drink these days. You know, my health doesn't exactly permit me to. See, I never had. Yeah, I never had the PlayStation 1, and I never had a PlayStation 2. The versions of Fallout I had was on computer, and because my early years of gaming was on a IBM Micro that was given to me by a relative back in the late 80s, early 90s, and that was Space Invaders, and then we had a Sinclair Spectrum ZX, which was gifted to us by a relative second hand, and from that we had Mac 3, Boy Scout, and I think we also had, I want to say, Count Duckula. It was Count Duckula or Danger Mouse. I know, but I remember it because you had to have a cassette. It was a cassette player, much like the I want to say the Commodore console. So it was a cassette tape, and that's what I remember most about it. Yeah, from the Commodore 64 onwards. Yes, yeah. Again, never had a Commodore. Never had a Nintendo. Didn't have a Nintendo until I was about 11. I got a Nintendo Game Boy Pocket Color, which I then got the color. Then I actually got Game Boy Color. Never had an original Game Boy. But then I obviously got the DS. Then the Wii. Never got a Wii U, but I have got a Switch, so I'm now on Nintendo Switch. Yeah, playing some good games on that actually. Yeah, the Atari and the NES. Yeah, what I like about the Nintendo Switch is that a lot of the original NES games have been made available, so you know I can experience them on my telly screen without the need for access to a console. You know, it's all on my Switch's hard drive, which is nice. You know, I can play. Yeah. Well, you know, that's your prerogative. You know, if you can sort of put them on to other people who would appreciate them, then you know, more power to you, really. Oh, hi, Fungenic. Thank you for joining me. Thank you indeed. Yeah, doing a live stream. Trying it on a Friday night. Probably take it up to maybe about 10 o'clock. I have got something else happening at 10, not for my channel. Another friend is having a premiere tonight. So yeah, if you're around, this is a shout out to the wonderful Whisperwind ASMR. She's actually having a premiere of her latest Whisperwind video at 10 o'clock on her channel. So you know, please do join her in the chat because, you know, she's an amazing content creator, a really good friend, and, you know, she deserves all the very best. She absolutely deserves it. You know, I can't speak more highly of her, really. She indeed, Lady Sage, she is one of the nicest, kindest, most creative content creators. Her channel name is Whisperwind. Hang on, I've got the chat up here on the screen, so I will just I will put the link in the chat because I really think you will enjoy her work if you're not aware of her. Let me. I don't know if you can hear that, but there is a blackbird in my garden, in my back garden, or in the back garden, I should say, going absolutely berserk. Hopefully, I've not missed it. There we go. I'll put a link to the video so that you can. And I think it's going to be a really lovely one tonight, actually. I really think it's going to be a lovely one. I'll just stick that in the... That's the link to the video so that you can set your reminders. And I'll tell you what, I'll put a link into her channel as well so that you can, if you really wish to do so, and please do, because she's an amazing content creator, I will put a link to her channel in the chat as well, because she deserves it. She deserves all the very best. Yeah, it is making quite a racket tonight, but I'm not going to close the windows because it is quite warm this evening. I normally have a fan on, but it right, and there's a link to her channel as well. So I do recommend her creativity. She is a really good person, a really lovely, friendly, she deserves it. She really does deserve it. So yeah, please do click on the links. Yeah, I'm. Yeah, I know that feeling. Being single and everything. Obviously, I'm meeting that's why I'm doing my live stream tonight, because I've arranged to meet up with a friend tomorrow, and then next week I'm off to the Isle of Wight for the day. So hopefully there might be a Instagram live stream next week, coming from the Isle of Wight steam railway. They've got they've got a gala on there next week. That will be during the day here in the UK though, so chances are if you're in America it will probably be early morning. But me and my mates have said we're going to try and find a pub and have a few drinks next week, so that'll be there's plenty of pubs on the Isle of Wight. So it's nice. It is nice to be able to get back out and about and travel a bit further than when you've been stuck indoors for an entire year, not able to go anywhere. It did play with my mind quite a bit, but now we can go further afield here in the UK. It does make a big difference. It really does make things so much better. So, hopefully it will remain that way, and there won't be any more actual lockdowns. See, I've never been to Alton Towers. I've heard it's amazing though, and the advert on it as always. But I do need to talk to my friends about. I do need to talk to my friends about doing sort of day trips and things like that. I mean, most of my friends are a lot younger than me, so I think they'd be sort of very into theme parks and things like that. So I think we can always arrange something. Obviously, being an adult fan of Lego, I'd absolutely love to get back to Legoland. I actually went there for my 16th birthday, so that's 20 years ago. That is 20 years ago now. You know, I really would love to go back there and see what they've done, because as an adult fan of Lego, hence AFOL, AFOL, hence my username. It's funny really, because you'd think with my username being AFOL ASMR, there'd be Lego based ASMR, but the reason I don't do Lego builds on my channel is because it is very complex to try and sort out recording actual building of the sets. Yeah, I mean, I build them and put them on display. Most of my sets are Star Wars. I collect the Star Wars sets, from, you know, because I'm a Star Wars fan. And they're actually very good quality sets. I've got the A-Wing from Episode 6, Return of the Jedi, and it's a really nice build. But I've also got some other bits. I've got the lunar lander, the Apollo 11 lunar lander as well. That's a lovely build. I'd love to get my hands on the Saturn V, but I don't know where. I haven't really got space to put anything that's about 5 feet tall when it's fully built. You know, I don't buy the sets that most kids buy. I buy the sort of advanced. Yeah, there's a couple of content creators that have done it. There are quite a few that have done it, and my setup is quite awkward. Yeah, GB did one. There's another channel that I'm subscribed to that a lot of people don't know about, Rani Divine. She's actually got a new Lego video. She's actually got a new Lego video out, actually. I'll post the link to her. She's an amazing content creator too. Oh, it's called Art of Divine, her channel. I do recommend her. I do recommend her channel. She's absolutely amazing. She is absolutely amazing. There's a link to her channel. Do go and have a look. She's a wonderful content creator. As I say, she's only got 103 subscribers, but she started her channel over a year ago. Yeah, when was her first video? So she's been doing it slightly longer than me, but her first video was 4th of March 2020. So she started about 2 months before. March, April, May. She started about 3 months before me. But you know, she really does deserve more recognition for her creativity as well. I really do suggest you go and have a look at her channel. You know, as I say, she's a wonderful content creator. Yeah, because I mean, I if you know me on Instagram and Twitter, you will know how frustrated I get with the growth of my channel. I mean, you know, I am currently standing at 340, so I've had a good 30 odd people join me this week, which I'm really delighted with. You know, I do talk a lot about reaching 1,000 for the community tab and everything, and you know, it would be nice to be able to churn out content on a weekly basis. Oh, she is amazing. She really is very creative, and she does art as well. She does painting, and her paintings are beautiful, absolutely beautiful. But you know, I'd like to be able to churn out content. Hi Uplifting, hi Adina, thank you for joining me. You know, so it's difficult really. This is why I try and do live streams as well, because at least it gives me like at least a weekly upload, as well as my project. As I say, I'm still waiting on chapter 13, but Uplifting ASMR Adina is actually involved with you, Brian, in the Lord of War and Heartache spin-off, The Academy, which I'm really, really happy about. And Funnily enough, her script is the first one I've written. Well, it's not scripted; it's plot points. So yeah, you know, I'm really really excited about the future, what the future of the channel had. I mean, yes, it's still growing, and there's plenty of room to grow. Yeah, I'm really happy to have you on board. Really, really happy. It's going to be. I mean, the whole premise is a lot of fun. I've really had, from chapter 1 onwards, I've really had a lot of fun creating it. The whole series, because you know, it's been a dream come true to be able to write and develop, and you know, having so many wonderful people. Yeah, I mean, Articulate Design, Matt. He's also called Matt. He appeared in chapter 6. He did he voiced a character in chapter 6 in the main storyline of the scholar. He played the sort of research scholar in chapter 6, and I was really happy to have him on board. You know, as I say, it doesn't matter if people do voiceovers or video. You know, I'm just so happy to have people, especially sort of the other chat. You know, some of the best names in ASMR. You know, well, all the best names in ASMR joining me, because, you know, I feel like, yeah, he's amazing. You know, I mean, he is so creative. I mean, I don't think even I put it this way: there is not a single ASM artist I dislike. There is not one ASM artist I dislike. You know, sometimes videos are created that I feel aren't my... Yeah, I agree with you there, Dapist. Yeah, I think really what I need to do is concentrate on content and you know, yeah, I mean, the content is the most important thing, I think, really. Giving good quality content to your viewers, however many you have, is, I think, is what's most important. And it gives me a lot of satisfaction. It gives me a lot of great satisfaction and happiness to be able to do it. You know, it really does give me a lot of joy to do. But no, I've got the windows open. I don't have bird. It's the blackbirds in our back garden. It's the twilight chorus, because it is 9:20 in the evening here in the UK. Yeah, they are pretty loud. But I normally have a fan on, but of course it creates a horrible static sound. Yeah, it is really. I mean, I'm quite lucky, because sort of in that direction, about less than... Because just across the way from where I live is the main road. You know, I'm in a back street, and the main road is sort of a dozen houses away from me. I you know, so, you know, I can hear the cars on the main road, but it's very quiet. So, but yeah, we have bird feeders and everything. It's surprising how, because I live in a town, it's surprising how much you know, how much wildlife we have in our garden. Really, we've got squirrels, different breeds of bird, and, you know, things like that. But yeah, you know, I agree. I mean, you know, I'm working on my content and my story and everything, updating. Yeah, I think my parents are in the garden tomorrow, but I'm gonna probably spend the day writing my scripts and getting them sent out and things like that. You know, writing out the notes and things like that. So it's going to be a worthwhile day. But yeah, because obviously I'm still looking for, as I said before, I'm still looking for 2 more characters for the academy. I've started writing the scripts, but you know, I'm still looking for 2 more of the 2 final. Yeah, when you lose, what I've discovered is through talking to other content creators, it's actually the bots being removed, because when a channel anonymously signs up, subscribes, they're usually bots. The genuine ones are the ones that it says such and such a person has subscribed to your channel. But the ones that subscribe, but it doesn't tell you they've subscribed, usually are the bots, and that's where the numbers actually go down, because what it is YouTube cleaning up, sort of cleaning house, as it were. You know, getting rid of the sort of fake accounts, things like that. So, you know, it swings and roundabouts. I sort of accept that now, and in all honesty, you know, I really want to concentrate on the and I think, as I say, I think the whole academy premise is going to be a lot of fun. I mean, I'm going to say this, Adina, I really can't wait to see what you come up with when you receive your information and plot points, because I think you're going to have so much fun with your character. I've given her a name. I'm calling her Clara. I think that's a perfect name for the character. So I will be sending that out to you ASAP, so you can have a read through. You know, I'm going to do it for everyone. I'm going to send out all the. I'm going to get them all written this weekend and sent out to people. No pressure at all. I mean, you've got till 31st of August. Until 31st of August to work it all out. This is the most generous I've been with my deadline, because I'm calling it my summer project. So it's the whole summer to get it done, you know. And that's what I thought. 31st of August would give people plenty of time to read through, you know. And if they do their videos sooner, I'll just keep them in a folder like I do with all my videos that I receive, and then obviously put them all together. I haven't actually worked, although I got like a chapter structure. I will probably chop and change depending on where I want the gaps. So, you know, not all the characters have been named as such. Clara is a name I've had for quite a while. Yeah, I try not to look at the analytics, Ronan, to be honest. I really do feel that you know, it is, I agree with you, it is. This is why I dropped out from things. Yeah, well, I will let you know now. I've got the hair flipping thing in. I have mentioned the hair flipping, which seems to be very popular with your viewers. And what was the other thing? Sort of a little nod towards Too Cool for School. I thought you could be a little bit flirty with the. Well, I have heard from the other person in chapter 13. Yes, I still have yet to. I don't like chasing people, you see. No, your student. Not all the students have a name yet. I haven't allocated name. Clara was a name I always had in mind for a particular. I'm not sure why, but I always had it in mind for a particular sort of style of character, and Well, you don't actually need a green screen because I do also accept audio recordings as well. Yeah, Mezzy and Desi, I will do the notes for them as well. Yeah, I haven't heard any more from them, but I really would like to get their video in as well because I think it. I won't have one if that's. Sorry, you've lost me there, Adina. What do you mean I won't have one if that's okay? Oh, do you mean a green screen? Do you mean a green screen? Just to clarify. Oh no, that's absolutely fine because I know for the Too Cool for School, you see, you recorded in what I believe was your bedroom. Well, the plan I've got there is for your character to appear in her dormitory, so you can use the room you're in and obviously decorate it accordingly to sort of a fantasy style. That's the idea I've got for your character. I've put it all in the notes. I will obviously clarify it all in the notes, but you know, I am more than happy for people to work with what they have. Green screen is absolutely fine. You know, it's really just how, and I'm happy to make suggestions on the notes as well on how to sort of decorate. You know, I can make suggestions and recommendations. And the thing I always say with my project is, you don't have to stick to anything I write or suggest or recommend. You have total freedom. Everything I just do, everything I type is purely a recommendation. It is not set in stone. You do not have to abide by it. You do not have to stick to it. Your creation, your imagination is your tool. My writing and my notes are the building blocks. You can completely build up from there, you know, and be as creative as... I say this to everyone involved. You can be as creative. And the thing is, it's worked fantastically with everyone... Yes, yeah, I am looking at... no, Mezzy is the nice one. Desi is the one that sells the artifacts that aren't magic. We've worked out. But yeah, backstories, anything like that is fantastic. You know, as I say, everything and everyone involved. It's a two-way street. It's not just me telling you what to do. We work together. It's a collaboration after all. It is a collaboration. You know, it's a two-way street. We work together. That's, you know, and as I said, you know, I accept audio if people don't feel they're, you know, and if you want to discuss with me what your character might look like, I'm happy to, you know, you can share test shots, you know, test shots of what your character looks like. If it's audio, I do pick images that fit the characters, like I do for Lord Volkov, Arik the Bard, Rafik. So yeah, you know, work with me if you've got an idea of what you think the character will look like for when you perform each role. Let me know, because I don't develop the character. You develop the character. They're your characters. They're my gift to you. You get to keep them and use them on your channel as well. That's the beauty of it. You get to develop them. And then, because I always say, I always make a rule that people can upload their videos, but it has to be after the premiere of the chapters. No, 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 no. I'm not bothered about them. I'm not bothered about anything like that. You know, it's not. No, 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 no. Don't worry a thing about that. You know, you're the. It's your character. You do what you feel comfortable with. You know, don't concern about anything. You know, whatever you want to do, do it. You know, it's your creativity at work. I just lay the foundations. You know, and yeah, I do agree with Ronan there. I think it's. I mean, there's a lot of performers that do have tattoos anyway, so it's not. It's fantasy. Anything goes. Anything goes. You know. I mean, let's face it. We've got vampires. We've got elf descendants. We've got the whole dream realm is an entire premise in itself, which will have strange and wonderful characters that exist on entirely different planes. Yet we've even got dragons. We've got a dragon in the works. Yeah, see, I personally don't have any tattoos. My sister has tattoos. I have nothing against them. Absolutely nothing against them. You know, it's just not for me. It's like with ASMR. For me, it's exactly you did. Anything goes. It doesn't matter. It's fantasy. It's creativity. You know, work with what you have. That's what I love about everyone that's been involved. I've not been disappointed with. Everyone that's been involved in my project has been absolutely. Well, that's the interesting thing, Ronan. Just seeing your comment. The character of Geoffrey of Trigon, who I voice, was supposed to be a dwarf, but I couldn't find any suitable. So hence why he's like a 6 foot tall knight in armour. But yeah, Skyrim is one of my biggest influences on the Lord of War and Heartache. Absolutely. I normally play as an Imperial. I have to say, I normally play as an Imperial. I think my current Imperial name is Rubo Gilman, Primarch of the Ultramarines chapter. You've got Oblivion, have you? Yeah. You know, so otherwise I do sometimes play as a Nord. Yeah, there's nothing to regret about, you know, having. Oh, nice, High Elf Mage Thief, brilliant. Yeah, I'm sort of halfway through the. No, I've just finished the Thieves Guild quest to return the skeleton key to Nocturne. So I am now a Nightingale. Hi Justin, thank you for joining me. Thank you very much for joining me. Just so you know, there's about another 25 minutes of this stream before I close down. So yeah, still plenty of time to chat, but I'll be jumping over to join Sage, aka Whisperwind ASMR, to join me. Oh yeah, Sky. Yeah, absolutely. I definitely have that as my biggest influence in the project. Hence why I knew I wanted dragons in the Lord of War and Heartache. I absolutely wanted dragons, and there is one in development. I'm not going to reveal too much about that because it's still being developed. I haven't written a script for it yet, but we're having a mini series set in what's known as the Firelands. Yeah, I think I've only ever finished Skyrim once. I'm on another replay. I think I've had it since it was released. I think I'm something like 500 hours into the game because I've finished it, but then I do, I've got all the side quests and everything that I'm doing, and I play it a lot more than I play Fallout 4, much more than I play Fallout 4. Hello, Kilted Whispers. Thank you for joining me. Hero Quest, Ronan. Yes. Yeah. It's a huge influence. Like Dungeons and Dragons is Warhammer Fantasy. What else? Lord of the Rings, obviously. Myths, Greek myths. The Desert Realm is based around sort of ancient Egypt, sort of ancient Rome, sort of things like that. The Ondarian monarchy is based around sort of influenced by medieval Europe, Victorian Europe, steampunk, the Empire in both Warhammer Fantasy and Skyrim, and the whole Elder Scrolls franchise. Then, of course, as I say, we've got the descendants of the elves in the Forest Realm, which obviously the descendants that can wield magic still have elven-like ears, and the citizens of the Forest Realm live much longer lives than in the Ondarian monarchy, because obviously they've got elven blood. So, huge amount of fantasy. I did do a science fiction series that only ever reached 8 chapters because that was called the Destructor Saga. But the thing with that was sci-fi is very, very rigid in its rules and how it is to write for it. And I really didn't know which direction I wanted to take the storyline for the sci-fi project. And when I started the fantasy project, Lord of War and Heartache, I really knew which direction I wanted to take it in. Hence why I've got characters listed up to chapter 31. 31. It's that's how far ahead I am in the planning stages. And I've actually got entire concepts in my head for at least another... Well, let's face it, I've got ideas for this project to take it up to chapters with 3 number figures. So we're looking at moving on to things like chapter 100. I'm thinking that far ahead. I'm thinking right the way up to chapter 100. For basic concepts, they're not set in stone yet because I'm still developing a lot of the ideas. But that's how far ahead I am with this project because I'm jotting. I haven't got my jotter with me, but I'm always thinking about the future of where the story's going. It is going to cover the tyrant. Put it this way. You've heard it here first. The Tyrant King is coming back. That has always been my plan. There's going to be a second war against him. So there's going to be a war against him. The ASMR around that will... No, it's 20 to 10 p.m. here in the UK. As I say, I'm online for another 20 minutes before I go over to Whisperwind ASMR for her. Hi Julie, thank you for joining me. Before I head over to Whisperwind ASMR's channel for her premiere at 10. So looking forward to that. So again, Sleeping Artist ASMR is another one of my collaborative content creators, appearing in chapters 4, 7 and 16. I should say, Julie, I actually sent the script. I finally sent the script over to Sage today for chapter 16. I've had to push back the deadlines to the end of July because things haven't exactly gone according to plan, and I still need to find people on board. So I've completely reshuffled the deadlines for the entire project because things haven't. No one's fault. Absolutely nobody's fault. Things just haven't worked out the way I'd planned, and life happens. As Dr. Ian Malcolm in Jurassic Park says, life finds a way. So, and it has. It really has found a way for me, which swings and roundabouts. Such is life. Such is life. Two creates a third. You will need both Brock flower and Xander root for the healing powder. That was the voice of Hakonin from Fallout 2. If you're familiar with Fallout 2. So sorry, it's sort of at this point Yes, you are still down for Thomas the Architect. I will be writing your script tomorrow. So I will. I've still got like. Script writing is hard work. It's fun, but it's hard work because you've got to try and. Fortunately, I've got a template that I work from, so. Good grief. Just wait for this notification to go from my 13. Wow. That's the most I've ever had on a lot. 14. Welcome everybody. This is the most I've ever had for a live stream. I am super happy to have you here. Thank you so much for joining me. I know we've only got about another 15 minutes before I sign off. That's a thrill. I've never had that many people join me in a live stream before. It's. I think I'm going to have to try and live stream more on a Friday night than a Saturday night because it seems to me that. Well, the thing is, Kilted. I do accept. If you're ever interested, I do accept audio. So if you didn't want to appear on camera and just wanted to do. Voice acting, that's absolutely fine. You're more than welcome to do it that way because I do voice acting as well, as a creator. All my characters are audio. Chapter 16 will be the first time I will have ever done a character on screen for Lord of War and Heartache. I'm doing it for the reason that chapter 16 is steampunk, and I want to get in on the steampunk act because I've actually got a steampunk cosplay. So I want to be able to actually bring my character to life for that particular concept. But Lord Volkov, Rafik, Arik the Bard, Geoffrey of Trigon. You're amazing, Julie. You're absolutely amazing. You were fantastic as Sophia. You were amazing. You were truly amazing as I've forgotten her name now. The vampire snake charmer, Nefertira. You were absolutely amazing, and I know that Adina's going to be amazing as well because we've already talked about her character a little bit. I have a length of 5 to 10 minutes on the notes, But to be honest with you, if it goes over, it doesn't matter, because put it this way, exploring ASMR's video is quite long as well, but all the videos I've received I have never cut, because they are all amazing. If it goes over 10 minutes, I have no issue with that whatsoever. Absolutely no issue about length whatsoever. Just go with the flow. Whatever you know, if it feels like it's natural for you, no, that's absolutely fine. I'm keeping your video as is. I'm actually keeping your video as is, because Dappist, because I think, I mean, the longest piece of audio I received was 40 minutes, and I actually used that for an entire chapter 8, because it was so good. And that's the thing, I will, absolutely fine. 20-30 minutes, I have no issue with that whatsoever. The more the merrier. I can always edit it anyway. You know, oh, they are. I love them. That's why I started my channel. You know, that's why I do. I don't consider myself a mainstream ASMR artist, because of what I do, what I create. You know, I don't do finger fluttering. I don't do mouth sound things, you know, except when I'm talking, obviously, because that's just not me. That you know, I mean, that's already catered for by people like GB, Glow, ASMR Glow, who else? You know, Maddie ASMR. You know, there's so many amazing ASMR artists that already cater for that sort of thing, that I wanted to do something a bit different, something that stood out from the crowd, something that would get everyone, you know, everyone that could be. Yeah, Rapunzel, she's amazing. Yeah, I'm again, she's one that I have contact with on. You know, I'm friends with her on Twitter and Instagram. She's amazing. You know, I don't think it matters if you can't. You know, if it's just your voice, I don't think it matters really. As long as you enjoy what you're doing, as long as you enjoy the process of creating the content, that's what matters the most. That's what I get. You know, that's what I get the most out of what I do. You know, I really do feel like, you know. See, again, mukbangs are something I'm not drawn to. It's like ear licking videos. I am personally not drawn to ear licking videos. I will certainly never knock them. I will certainly never be rude or horrible to anyone that makes them, because there are people out there who like those sort of videos. They're just not for me. My stance is, I think if we all did exactly the same content, it would be incredibly dull. We need the variety. That's what I love about the ASMR community. There is so much variety that everyone is able to bring something original and creative to YouTube, and that's what I love about this community. That is what I love most about this community. There is something for everybody. What might be for one person won't be for another person. It's like me with ear licking videos. It's not my personal taste, but I know there are people, and I will not judge them for it. I make no judgments because I respect them. You know, I respect everyone is different, and that's the beauty of what I love about this community. You know, it's amazing to be part of. It's truly, yeah, exactly. You know. Exactly, it's personal taste. You know, and that's what I love about this whole genre, because it is so diverse, it is so creative, and that's what drew me to become There's a chap you'd get on with, actually, Ronan. I'm not sure if he's spoken to you. Um, he he's known as Proseman on. He's a poet as well. Lovely chap. Goes by his nickname of Poe on Instagram. He's an absolutely marvellous chap. Yeah, exactly. I mean, these, I think if you come into this, I believe if you come into this genre with a particular attitude that where you sort of pick on all the little things you don't like, I think that's the sort of wrong thing to have. Yeah, tapping, that's absolutely fine. Whatever people enjoy. I mean, I like tapping myself. That is a good trigger for me. I like soft spoken compared to whispering. Whispering kind of I find sharp on my eardrums. I don't know if it's because I've spent years listening to loud music and it's made my eardrums sensitive. But I really think it's if anyone can get into this community, and a lot of people do come in as brand new, I think they can set themselves up for life with friends and it's an amazing community. I'm so glad I became part of it last year. It's really, really given me something to. What do you want me to talk normally? Whatever is best for you. I have no concerns whatsoever. Some people do soft spoken. Some people do whisper. Whatever is best for you. Once you get the notes and the plot points, because not every character is scripted. They just have plot points because I want originality from the participants. Sorry, I keep focusing off my camera, which is just here, because I'm using my phone. Whatever you want to do, I am so flexible with all of this. That's the thing. I think that's why people get so much enjoyment, because I am not a director. I don't like telling people what to do. I don't like chasing people. I don't like, being abrupt or sort of demanding with people. It's not in my nature to be. It's never been in my nature to be that. I am an anything goes sort of chap, and that's how I will always be. I will always say, if you have any questions, any issues, any concerns, contact me, speak to me. I know you can use like video calling on Instagram even. If you wanna use that method, you can contact me directly. I'm even on Discord as well, and I can make my Discord thing available as well. I'm contactable. I'm approachable as well. I like to make myself as approachable as I can be. Granted, I may not respond straight away. Time zones particularly, because obviously it's night time here. So, yeah, the church, eh? Okay. Yeah, I'm not. I'll be honest. I'm not religious, but we won't go there. We won't go there at all. That's. Oh, thank you, Adina. I really do try to be. I have my moments. I'm not perfect. I have my flaws. I admit I'm not 100% perfect. I have my flaws. I have my quirks. Yeah, you know, I'm human and I make mistakes. I hold myself accountable as well. So, you know, if I ever upset anybody, please, please, please tell me, because I want to work with you as much as you work with me, because you know that's who I am. You know, I don't pretend to be. What you're seeing right here. Oh, thank you, Nick. I used to go to primary school with Nick, by the way. You've actually joined me at the very end of my live stream, because I'm about to jump off, because I'm about to go over to another channel. But I will be doing more of these through my phone, definitely in the week, because I enjoy them so much and they're good content for my channel. So all in all, I will sign off now. I apologise to all the latecomers, but thank you so much for joining me. It's been an absolute thrill, and I'm really happy the way this has gone. I mean, I've never had a live stream into double figures, and oh yeah, I'll even be going live on Instagram as well. I'll be going live on Instagram as well. You know, please do take care. Please do look after yourselves, and it's been an absolute pleasure. So thank you so much for joining me. I'm really happy with how this has gone, and I am so overjoyed that you've joined me this evening. So, you know, you can contact me on Twitter, Instagram, through my email, any way possible, Discord, you name it, I'm available. So thank you very much, and this is Matt Athol ASMR signing off.